There's a reason God calls us to live by faith and not by sight, but it's probably not for the reasons that you think. The problem with this flesh, with this body and this brain that we have, is that our body doesn't react to the truth. Our body reacts to input. If your doctor calls and says that you have cancer, you have an immediate physical and emotional reaction. It doesn't matter whether it's true. It doesn't matter whether you can see that you have cancer. It doesn't matter if there's anything on your body to validate what the doctor said. Simply receiving that phone call will put you into a state of worry and fear, releasing all kinds of toxins into your bloodstream. Then if the doctor calls you back 5 minutes later and says, "I'm sorry, we made a mistake. Turns out you don't actually have cancer. I had the wrong file." Suddenly you feel a sense of release, elation, total relief from the situation. Even though nothing has actually changed, you didn't go from having cancer to not having cancer. You went from believing that you had cancer to believing that you don't have cancer. The truth could very well be that you still have it. The truth could also be that it's entirely benign. But it doesn't matter because your body doesn't respond to the truth. It responds to input. So when we live by sight, we live by whatever our senses are telling us, whatever we can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. We live by whatever information comes in through this biological system that our whole life operates on. But when we learn to live by faith, we no longer live by sight. We could get that call from the doctor, and we may have a sense of concern or trepidation because there's not knowing how the situation is going to work out. But in faith, we would also know that God is still sovereign, that He's still in control, that regardless of what happens, whether He calls us home or whether He leaves us here, we're safe. We are secure with Him. To live is Christ and to die is gain. It means we determine what is true based on what the Lord reveals to us by the Holy Spirit, not by the information that we're given through our ears and our eyes. It means when the doctor says you have cancer, your first question is to the Lord, "Lord, is this true?" If He says it's true, then the next question is, how am I going to walk through this? And He says, step by step, with me at your side. You see, the information may be that you have cancer, but the truth is that God is greater than that cancer. And whether He allows you to endure that situation here on earth and chooses to bring you home, the truth is that it is better to be with Christ than to remain in the body. The truth is that no matter how out of control your life suddenly feels, the person who controls the entire universe, the person who numbered the hairs on your head, remains in control. It says that not a single sparrow falls without His knowledge. How much more will a sickness not have the ability to prevail in your life without His permission and His awareness? And let's not forget what He told Paul when Paul prayed for God to remove the thorn in his side. What did he say? He said, "My grace is sufficient for you." Now, what does that mean? That means that no matter what situation we encounter, that there is a sufficient amount of grace, supernatural power that is provided to us to be able to endure that situation. You are never alone in your sickness. You are never alone in your heartache. It says that He is near to the brokenhearted. You are never alone in your situation because the situation cannot occur without the Lord's permission, without Him knowing exactly where you are at exactly every moment. It is not the pain that we fear, but the chaos. It is the unknown, the uncertainty of how it's going to work out. But if we live by faith, there is no uncertainty. There may be uncertainty about how things are going to work in this life, but there is a certainty about the result. There is a certainty about the outcome. The only uncertainty lays in the middle of the story. And so we can't live by sight. If we live by sight, then we will fear about the middle because we are not looking towards the end. We will live in complete fear about the outcome of the moment instead of resting in faith because we know the outcome of the story.